Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at some really arresting images you've brought. Photos that, at first glance seem, perfectly ordinary. Maybe even a bit dull.
Right. But beneath that surface, there are these incredibly disturbing, sometimes horrifying backstories.
Exactly. And that's our mission for this deep dive. We're going to unpack the hidden truths behind these pictures. See what they tell us about, maybe, the darker side of human nature, of our world.
It's fascinating and unsettling how an image can present one thing while hiding something. Far more sinister. It really challenges you to look closer.
It really does. So, let's get started. Our first photo, it's of a young man, 21-year-old Otto Warmbier. He looks like he's begging for forgiveness.
Yeah, he was a University of Virginia student, supposed to be studying abroad in Hong Kong.
But he took a detour first, signed up for a trip to North Korea with a company called Young Pioneer Tours.
Ah, yes, the ones based in China. Their slogan is something like, destinations your mother would rather you stayed away from.
Which definitely fits North Korea.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And travel there, as your research points out, is incredibly controlled. Everything's managed by the government.
But these New Year tours, they apparently tried to create a more festive vibe. Lots of alcohol involved.
Yeah, surprisingly so. But even with that attempt at openness, there was this strict rule about the Yanggakdo International Hotel, specifically the secret fifth floor.
Okay, what's the deal with that?
Well, it's forbidden to foreigners. It's where the hotel staff lived. Very basic, bare floors, gray walls, just propaganda posters everywhere, stark contrast to the guest floors.
And this secrecy led to a kind of challenge among tourists. The fifth floor challenge.
Exactly. People dared each other to go up there. Usually, if caught, it was just a warning. Maybe they'd take your phone. Nothing too serious normally.
But Otto's case, it went way beyond that. Your sources say he was caught on camera, 1:57 a.m. New Year's Day, entering that forbidden floor.
The allegation was that he tried to steal a propaganda poster, though the footage apparently shows him leaving empty-handed.
Just over 24 hours later, he's at the airport with his tour group, ready to leave.
And that's when North Korean officials detained him, pulled him aside right there in the departure lounge.
One of the other tourists, Danny Grattan, remembered Otto, seemed calm, even gave a kind of half smile as they led him away.
Which is just chilling, considering what happened next.
The group had to leave without him. North Korea confirmed they had him, but it took 6 weeks for them to say why.
Subversion, they called it. Although, interestingly, the tour company Otto was with claimed he wasn't even in the hotel that night, and that the CCTV footage didn't look like him.
But they went ahead with a trial anyway. And that photo we mentioned, him begging for forgiveness, that's from his first public appearance after the arrest.
It was what your sources describe as a show trial. Basically, the outcome's predetermined. It's more about propaganda than justice.
He gave this coached confession, right? Reading from a script, believing he'd just get a warning.
That seemed to be the idea. But there was a moment, apparently, where he broke down. Seemed like a genuine plea for his life. Really heartbreaking when you think about it.
And then the sentence came. 15 years of hard labor.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable severity.
Stunned everyone. The U.S. pushed hard for his release. Eventually, after a lot of back and forth, North Korea agreed.
But when he came back to the U.S., he was in a vegetative state, severely brain damaged.
North Korea claimed he got botulism from bad food and fell into a coma.
But your research points out a contradiction, doesn't it? A doctor who examined him said his body was in excellent condition for someone supposedly bedridden for over a year.
Exactly. It directly contradicts the botulism and neglect story, raises huge questions about what really happened to him during that time, questions that remain unanswered.
In the end, his parents had to make that impossible decision, requesting his feeding tube be removed. He died on June 19th, 2017.
His story is just a terrifying cautionary tale. Shows the brutality of the Kim regime, as your sources put it. Looking at that photo now, knowing everything, it's haunting.
Truly haunting. Okay, moving from state-sponsored terror to something hidden closer to home. Our next image is, it's Santa Claus.
A man named Bruce McArthur dressed as Santa.
Yeah, a 68-year-old landscaper from Toronto. During Christmas, he worked as a mall Santa at the Agincourt Mall.
Yeah.
And apparently, he was great at it.
Parents called him a natural. Kids loved him. Sat on his knee, told him their Christmas wishes. The classic jolly Santa image.
But behind that image, a completely different reality.
A truly chilling reality. Bruce McArthur wasn't just a landscaper or a Santa, he was a serial killer. Your sources also describe him as a necrophiliac.
meaning he was sexually attracted to.
Corpses.
Yes. His landscaping business, it seems, was essentially just a front, a way to facilitate his crimes. He targeted vulnerable people.
Who specifically?
The poor, the lonely recent immigrants like Salim Essen and Sarush Mahmoudi, older men looking for connection like Andrew Kinsman and Dean Lissowick.
And his methods. They're gruesome.
Horrific. Usually strangulation.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, he would pose the bodies and photograph them.
Pose them. Sometimes in what your sources call sickly comic poses, like one victim dressed in a fur coat holding a cigar. Other times, more carnal positions. He sometimes shaved their heads or beards too.
That's deeply disturbing. And then, the disposal.
This is perhaps the most horrifying detail. He dismembered the bodies and buried the remains under the flower beds of his landscaping clients.
You're kidding. So people were admiring their gardens.
Complimenting his green thumbs, completely unaware of what was fertilizing their flowers. The sheer audacity is hard to comprehend.
How was he caught?
Intensive police surveillance eventually led to a raid on his apartment. And what they found inside.
What was it?
A young man, naked, handcuffed to the bed, a black bag over his head. Terrified, begging the police to save him. They got there just in time.
Thank God. And MacArthur.
He pleaded guilty, showed absolutely no remorse, received multiple life sentences. He'll die in prison.
That disconnect.
Yeah.
The beloved Santa image and the monster underneath. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How little we might know about people.
Absolutely. It's a terrifying example of how someone can wear a mask, a very convincing one, while hiding unimaginable darkness.
If MacArthur hid behind a public role, our next story involves darkness within a family. We're looking at a family portrait now. The List family from Westfield, New Jersey.
Looks perfectly normal, right? John Sr., his wife Helen, their 3 kids, Patricia, John Jr., and Frederick. His mother also lived with them.
John Sr. seemed respectable. World War II vet, bank, vice president, good job. Nice house in the suburbs.
Wife seemed happy, kids were doing well in school. The picture of American success, really.
But that picture shattered. What happened?
On November 9th, 1971, in the afternoon, John List went to his study, got 2 handguns, and shot his wife, Helen, and then his mother.
While the kids were still at school.
Yes. Then he waited. When Patricia and Frederick came home, he killed them too. Methodically.
My God. And then, what did he do after murdering most of his family?
It's almost unbelievable. He made himself lunch, then he drove to the bank and closed the family's accounts.
Calmly went about his day.
And then, get this, he went to his oldest son, John Jr.'s high school, watched him play in a soccer game.
He watched his son play soccer after killing the rest of the family.
Even congratulated him afterwards, apparently, on the drive home. Promised him a reward.
A reward?
The reward was being shot. Ballistic evidence suggested John Jr. fought back, tried to stop his father, but couldn't.
And after killing his entire family.
He just vanished. Left a 5-page letter for his pastor on his desk.
What did it say? Any explanation?
He claimed he saw too much evil in the world, said he killed his family to save their souls, a completely twisted justification.
How long does he stay hidden?
For 18 years. It's incredible. He managed to evade capture for nearly 2 decades.
So how did they finally find him?
It was America's Most Wanted, the TV show. In May 1989, they featured his case. They commissioned a forensic artist, Frank Bender, to create an age-progressed clay bust of what List might look like.
And did it work?
Amazingly, yes. Just 2 weeks after the show aired, List was arrested in Virginia. He looked remarkably similar to that bust, which people had apparently mocked at the time.
Wow. And his trial?
Less than a year later, convicted. 5 counts of first-degree murder, 5 consecutive life sentences.
Did he ever express remorse?
He made a statement before going to prison, said something like, "I feel it because of my mental state at the time I was unaccountable for what happened. I ask all affected by this for your forgiveness, understanding, and prayer."
Still deflecting responsibility, it sounds like. He died in prison in 2008.
Yeah. It's just a profound example of that contrast. Again, the respectable facade, the calculated brutality hidden beneath. How deep that hidden world can be.
Okay, our final image today. It's a wedding photo. Looks happy, normal. Rosalie Willis and her new husband.
Seems completely unremarkable at first glance, a typical wedding snapshot.
But the groom, the smiling man in the photo, it's Charles Manson.
The Charles Manson, infamous cult leader.
Yes, exactly. Leader of the family. Responsible for that ideology. Culture skelter, right? based on the Beatles song.
Yeah, his twisted vision of an upcoming race war. His followers committed the Tate LaBianca murders, horrifying crimes.
And even though he didn't physically commit those murders himself,
He was convicted. His ideology, his control over the family was deemed an overt act of conspiracy. He directed it all.
what's so jarring about this particular photo, though, is just how normal he looks.
Utterly normal. And that's the terrifying part, isn't it?
It really is. Just an ordinary guy getting married, no hint of the monster he was or would become infamous for.
It speaks volumes, I think, about that core theme we've seen today. How people capable of the most perverse, evil acts can look just like anyone else.
Monsters wearing masks, walking among us.
Blending in perfectly, this photo is such a stark reminder of that hidden darkness that can exist right below the surface of everyday life.
So, today we've looked behind the curtain of these seemingly ordinary images you shared. A tourist's grim end in North Korea, a beloved Santa's secret life, a respectable father's horrific crime, a cult leader looking normal on his wedding day.
Each story really drives home how misleading appearances can be.
It underscores what we try to do here on the Deep Dive, doesn't it? True understanding isn't just about knowing facts.
Right, it's about grasping the deeper implications, the complexities, even the really dark parts of human nature. It encourages that critical look, thinking beyond just what you see initially.
It definitely makes you wonder what other hidden stories are lurking just beneath the surface of the photos we see every day. Something to think about.
Indeed. Always question what you see.
Well, thank you for joining us on this rather unsettling deep dive. We hope it's given you, our listeners, some food for thought.
We appreciate you tuning in.
We invite you to continue exploring the world's hidden stories with us. If you enjoyed this discussion, maybe consider liking or sharing it. Helps others find the channel. Until next time, stay curious.